Okay, let's check how we can get along with FM synthesis on the MODX. This is a MODX 8, and let's start. You got your performance, probably you know how this works. There's a knob for performance. You push the button, and once you have a performance any, you push the button category. That's right here. You push the button category, and in category you have this init button. You say init, and then you can choose if it's AWM or if it's FM. Let's do some FM synthesis, which was quite complicated those days. After you've chosen, you press performance again, and then you have a sine wave. Right, the first thing you can even play it, yes. So how do you program this? It's easier than in the DX7 here. You push this button here, that's written FMX, and this appears, and there you push edit. And then you're already in edit. And in edit you have different pages down here. One is the common page, part settings. You need part settings, common, and you have some general settings you can do here, and most important is the algorithm you can do. And there's one operator. You can take operators like VCOs or DCOs in subtractive synthesis. So it sounds a little bit complicated, but an operator is sort of an oscillator. In this case, originally FM synthesis was only done with sine waves. And so let's get along with sine waves. I have a look at the operator 1, and operator 1, there it's written spectral, it's a sine wave. Yes, and this sine wave sounds like this, and you can coarse it up here, fine-tune it. You can do some stuff with that, but let's go back to the common page here, and there's a feedback in the sine wave, and this is the first thing you can do, this typical DX7 thing. And immediately this one sine wave sounds like a sound you could use in a way, yes? Let's check how fast I can do different operators and combine them. This is the essence of FM synthesis. So operator 1 is set already, and then you can switch through and just level them. 2 is leveled here, 3 is leveled. I'll level it to the max. You can of course differently level them, and that leads you to different sounds. But the more operators you've got, I think the DX7 has got 6 and this one has got 8. Exponentially more possibilities you have to do things with his operators. If I go to the second one, and as you have already seen, operator 1 is a sine wave, the second one could be a different one, and this is also different from original FM synthesis. I can do a lot of overtones here, and here's the second one, and I chose the third one and take an odd and skirt it here. This is all about the overtones of the different operators, so don't get too confused with that. Just try it out, trial and error. This is not a course of FM synthesis. We just check what can be done fast with these things. Here's a little resonance, and you can immediately hear operator 5 is this here, and operator 6. I use them all. You see, it works quite fast. I skirt this one also. And even by using the basic algorithm that puts them all in a row, you can do a lot with that to form the sound you want to get to. It's a little bit a question of experience. If you want to do that mathematically and really controlled, you need a lot of experience and need a lot of background. But this is about fun, and I just want to show you that it can be fun just trying that. And if you go back to the level page, it's now here, you can see that everything could be also changed in its attack and the decay and the release. I could go through here, and each of these operators has its own attack and decay and release, which mixes them up to a very complex, let's say, volume game within, so that more resonance comes in, some comes out. You can imagine this really gets quite complicated in the end to do this. And if you go to operator 2 again and say frequency here, you can see there's a detune, and then you have the same thing as you've got in subtractive synthesis. You hear this? this sounds quite common, and also this depends on which of the operators is in the foreground and which is dominant, how loud is it. And so you see there's quite a lot of things you can do by that. And how do you get to this algorithm stuff again? You just go back to the common page, and there it is, and there are the algorithm, and you can go through those. I don't explain them right now, but this is the original. We started from number 2. I found 88 of them, and in this case you can just check out what's happening here. Just let's check a few of those. If you get a lot of resonance in these operators, you easily come to this noisy stuff here. That depends on the algorithms you use. This is a little bit nasal, and this is quite a nice one. You see, I don't have to understand the theoretics of this. Just check it out, and then you can have some fun. So now we got this here, and you can go back to the general page here and do some assignings. That's the original reverb sent from the system. What I want to do is I want to get into effects here. On the left side there's effects, and using effects on this. If you press the system FX here, there's insertion, there's master FX, and we have this master FX and master system FX, and you can switch it off. This is normally a reverb, but what's more interesting is this insertion FX. So if you go out of this utilities, back again into your edit thing here, the part settings already with our operators here, go into effect. And when the insert effects are activated for the whole system, you can go here and this insert A and insert B. And if I take insert A, there's normally through, and now there's nothing, and now we have a chorus, yes? It sounds quite good. It's a little bit noisy, it depends on the algorithm. Let's look for that later, and then you can get out here and take insert B, and I want to add a little bit of delay, let's say a short delay or tempo cross delay. And you see, this is really great. You come very easily by this FM thing. You come to something, and if you press the performance button again, you already see you had one FM sound now, and you can do a second, third, fourth, up to 8 of these FM things and mix them up, and even use this knob here to mix them in real time. I'll just show you if I mix FM with AWM. Down here, and once I've chosen it, I can go in here and say, okay, I mix it up. This is the pad I've thrown in. I put it louder and mix it with my sizzling sound here. And after that I can go into the mixing and say one of those is more panning to the left, and the other one is panning somewhere else. And I can also put in the reverse sand here, so I mix it up. So now I have a mixture of FM synthesis and this AWM synthesis, and with a modulation wheel I attach, I can do something like that. Manipulate everything, and in the end I can go in here again, and if I don't like the sizzling sounds, I go into the common page here again, into the part settings, and say general algorithm, and check, that was too fast, just the algorithms through. that can be mixed again in the performance page. Now this algorithm is, this FM is too not loud enough, so I put it in here compared to the other one. And when everything is over, I just press the rhythm pattern thing here, do a delocate, and everything goes on. Well, of course, that was very easy and you can drop more into that, but just remember FMX, edit, understand the operators, understand the common page with the algorithm. You have a general thing on the common page. You can also do an envelope on the whole thing, and you can do envelopes on the different operators, and each operator can be a different spectral thing. Here's odd, and there's Kurt sort of cutoff and resonance, and you have total control of everything you're doing here, even the loudness of each operator compared to the other one. And maybe you should also use this fine tune and detune thing like subtractive synthesis, that you get more movements into it. And in the end, you can also go into the common page and put on a filter here, and there's a filter type through, but you can use for example, dual high pass filter. You see it immediately, or let's take a low pass filter, and then you get into the cutoff and you can do something like this with the wheel here, or attach it to the modulation wheel. If I put on the resonance a little bit more and put it down a little bit, the whole cutoff down a little bit, I can also go into the infilter envelope here and say the attack should be like that, and the decay. Now listen to this sound. So there's lots of possibilities to get along with that. That was just very, very little bit of introduction here. Try that, and if you got the editor on your PC, everything is even easier, because then you can work with the mouse. There's an editor you might know you can buy and do with this librarian things and everything. So have fun with it and really try FM synthesis. It's not secret art or secret science. With this machine, it's so much easier than those days we had with the DX7 or DX5 I started many years ago. So that's it.